What's up everyone, this is Pooka, and I'm just bringing you a quick video to show you guys some new stuff about the recent rule changes that are going to be happening in the Pokemon TCG. Now this is just going to kind of gloss over the rule changes, not going to do any in-depth commentary. However, I have written an article on our website, thetopcut.net, so if you want to check the description, the full article with all my thoughts on all the changes will be on our website. Again, that's in the description. Go and check that out if you're curious. So there are 5 rule changes that we're really going to talk about. And I'm going to reference my article just to take a look at them. The first one, we're going to go ahead and just look at my article just to get the headline of it. Swiss rounds are best of 3, 50 minutes plus 3 turns at any events, state championships or higher. So also the big thing is the result can be a win, a loss, or a tie. All right. So that means if you win 2 games out of the 3, you win the series. If you win 1 game and then the second game doesn't finish, the winner of the first game wins the series. There are no incomplete games that count. A full game has to finish for it to count. If there's any situation where it's tied on wins, either 1-1 or 0-0, the match ends in a tie. Okay, so there can be ties, wins, and losses. That is the big change in this new system. Before we did not have ties. We did not have best 2 out of 3 for Swiss either. So these are 2 big changes here. It's also 50 minutes. So it used to be 30 minutes plus 3 turns for a single game. Now it's 50 minutes plus 3 turns for a best 2 out of 3. So that is change number 1. Change number 2 is going to be that instead of doing those gigantic top cut sizes, for example at U.S. Nationals, they had a top 128 cut. So the top 128 players advanced to a single elimination bracket, and then eventually they play down to a winner. Now, as we can take a look, go ahead and take a look here. The maximum top cut size is now 8. Instead of the gigantic cuts, more Swiss rounds will be played in their place. So it depends on attendance. We can play all the way up to 15 Swiss rounds now at these big not state championships. This only goes into effect at regional championships and national championships. Maximum top cut size is 8 for every event, but the 2-day events can play up to 15 rounds if attendance is high enough. But for state championships, it's still going to be a maximum of 1 day, so it'll be 8 rounds and a top 8 at best. But depending on attendance, you can play a lot more rounds. If you want to take a look at the article for the breakdown of how many players you need for how many rounds. But the bottom line is instead of doing bigger top cuts, they're doing more Swiss rounds instead. Much similar to how Magic the Gathering does their system. So that's change number 2. Now these are just kind of tournament changes, structural changes, rules at events. For overall gameplay changes, there are 3 of those coming out as well in X and Y. These will go into effect on November 8th. That's when it's going to be a worldwide change. Japan, US, Europe, everywhere. They all get these changes at once. And they're kind of big changes for the game. So we'll take a look at those too. So we'll go ahead and look. The first rule change with X and Y, the player going first cannot attack on the first turn. So if you go first, you cannot attack, period. You can't do damage, you can't use Sableye's Junk Hunt, you can't use Emolga's Call for Family. You cannot attack. You can do everything else, play all your energy, your trainers, blah, 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 but you cannot attack. That's the big changes. This is to prevent first turn wins from happening and kind of negate the advantage of going first. Also, you decide who goes first before drawing hands now. You flip a coin, and then you decide whoever wins the flip gets to say, I want to go first or I want to go second. So that's an important distinction now. Decide who goes first before drawing your hands. That's a big difference. We don't do that now. But now you can choose whether or not you want to go first or second, because the rule changes can certainly affect whether or not you do want to go first or second. That's another big change. The next big change is probably the most controversial one. It's so controversial I can't even get my words out. Let's just look at it. Pokemon Catcher now requires a coin flip, effectively turning it into Pokemon reversal. So it will receive an errata instead of just saying you get to grab something off your opponent's bench. You have to flip heads first before you do it. It's exactly similar to this card, Pokemon Reversal. Yeah, I guess we can kind of blow it up here. if it ever loads. All right, there we go. So yeah, this is what Pokemon Catcher will turn into. They probably decided it was too strong. They didn't want it around anymore. So now we're going to have Pokemon Reversal again instead of Pokemon Catcher. Now you still have to play Pokemon Catcher. It'll just have different text than the one we have now. So it'll be basically the same as Pokemon Reversal. You cannot play Pokemon Reversal in tournaments. It's not a legal card. But now your Pokemon Catcher will be exactly the same as a Pokemon Reversal. So that is a huge change. We haven't seen an errata like that really in a long time. I can't think if we've ever had an errata that's changed a card that much. It's pretty crazy. So that's change number 4. Number 5 is not too relevant. We'll take a look at that as well, though. Change number 5 is that Professor Juniper and Professor Sycamore cannot be played in the same deck. So Professor Sycamore is a new supporter coming out in the X and Y sets that is exactly the same as Professor Juniper. Supporter, discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Since they're exactly the same, they're saying you cannot play both in your deck. You either choose Professor Juniper or you choose Professor Sycamore, one or the other. You cannot combine them. Alright? So you can play 4 of Sycamore or you can play 4 of Juniper, but you cannot combine them to play 2 and 2 of each. It has to be one or the other. Exclusive. You have to pick which generation you want. Juniper or Sycamore. That's not a big change, but could be confusing for people. So might as well throw that out there as well. Again, if you want to get my full thoughts on everything, check out our website, thetopcut.net. Link is in the description for the article where I discuss in depth all of these changes. I just wanted to get a little video out there to let you guys know that these rules indeed are changing. So if you are planning on going to tournaments anytime soon, the tournament structure will be in effect for the upcoming regional championships that are happening actually this weekend and the next 2 weekends as well. And then November 8th is your date for those X and Y rule changes to go into effect. So I hope you guys are excited about these new rule changes. Let me know what you think about them down in the comments. And again, check out my article for my full thoughts on all of it. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Pooka from the Top Cut. We'll have some more videos for you guys soon, and I'll see you guys next time.